This week in games, Halo establishes a new beginning, Ubisoft is selling out, Fromsoft increases pay, and Alien Isolation is back. This is the Two Penny Gamescast. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 220. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host. Say hello to the people, Phil Shoemaker, once again.
You did that on purpose.
I wish I could say that I did, but, you know, muscle memory's a bitch. Let me tell you what.
Oh, okay. Hey, two in a row. Two in a row.
Welcome back,
Fuck
Phil.
you, Connor.
Glad to have you
Coming
back.
for your job, bitch.
Yeah, he better get his ass back here, get back to work, or he's out. He's out! And then I'll find a way to kick you out, and it'll just be me here talking to myself. No, I'm playing. Ladies and gentlemen.
You think you can get rid of me? I don't think so.
You can get rid of me? Huh? All the years that I've sunk into this place, my dog is looking at me like I'm fucking crazy.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Tom Kenny, shout out. Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Two Penny Gamescast. Each week, me and my co-host come to you with the nerdy news you need to know concerning the video game industry. We each come to you with two topics, two pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. You can find this show every week, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/@2pennygames, or mainstream podcast services of your choice. But if that's not good enough for you, you want to interact with us live, well, hop on over to twitch.tv/2pennygames every Monday evening, and we will be there live recording all of our podcasts and shows with you. So make sure that you hop over, follow us over on Twitch, follow us over in our socials, links in the description down below, and follow us on TikTok for all of our new or all of our latest and greatest videos over there. Phil, how's your week been, friend?
It's been pretty good. Pretty busy at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff happening. We're still prepping for that big corporate audit we're gonna have. Just come and check out all of our stuff. So Joker, a bit of a flop. So
yeah, it is.
It's a little slow.
Yeah, it is.
We've been trying to fill in the time with a lot of cleaning and such. So
cleaning, very nice. It's important to clean. It's one of those things that can get away from you if you're not diligent about it. And you let the little things go, Phil, and then the big things start slipping too. You know what I mean? It's a little crazy snowball effect there. But very nice. My week has been it's been a little turbulent, but we're rocking and rolling through it. I talked to you a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on in our Discord chat, but there's also been some other things that I can't talk about. But it's been a turbulent week, so keep the positive vibes going out there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you love the people around you, all that type of stuff. Anyways, Phil, I think we should get straight on into it because we got some interesting things to talk about today.
Let's do it.
If you will go ahead and jump into our first topic of the day, your first penny of the day. Take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. I would love to. I've got here an article from TheVerge.com by a Mr. Tom Warren. Says the future of Halo is being built with the Unreal Engine 5.
Hey.
Says Microsoft is moving its Halo development to Unreal Engine 5 after more than a year of rumors of an engine switch following a leadership overhaul at 343 Industries. Layoffs and other changes. 343 Industries is now becoming Halo Studios as part of this engine change announcement, hoping to mark a new chapter in the history of Halo. Halo moving to Unreal Engine 5 is being positioned as the first step of a transformation for Halo Studios to change its technology, structure, processes, and even culture. We're not just going to try to improve the efficiency of development, but change the recipe of how we make Halo games. Quote says Pierre Hintz, studio head at Halo Studios. The team building Halo will move from the studio's Slipspace engine to Unreal after the proprietary engine it built for Halo Infinite became difficult to use and strained development. Halo Studios has had to dedicate a lot of staff to developing the Slipspace engine, and parts of it are almost 25 years old. That's almost as old as us. One of the primary things we're interested in is growing and expanding our world so players have more to interact with and more to experience, says Chris Matthews, art director at Halo Studios. Quote, Nanite and Lumen, Unreal's rendering and lighting technologies, offer us an opportunity to do that in a way that the industry hasn't seen before. As artists, it's incredibly exciting to do that work. End quote. Halo Studios isn't committing to any release dates or new Halo game announcements just yet, but the team has been building some examples of Halo running in Unreal. Dubbed Project Foundry, the work is neither a game nor a tech demo, but more of a research, development, and training tool. It's also the foundation for how the studio is changing up the way it builds Halo games. Project Foundry has been built as if it was a shipping game so that a bunch of it can appear in Halo games in the future. Quote, it's fair to say that our intent is that the majority of what we showcased in Foundry is expected to be in projects which we are building, or future projects, unquote, says Hintz. Project Foundry includes more detailed landscapes for Halo biomes, as well as foliage levels we haven't seen in Halo games in the past. Master Chief's armor has even been remodeled in this footage, months after I exclusively revealed in Notepad that Microsoft was working on some form of Halo Combat Evolved remaster, says Tom Warren. That's the I part. Halo Studios is now working on multiple Halo games, while the Slipstream engine, is it not Slipspace, will continue to power Halo Infinite.
No, Slipstream.
We have, quote, we have a disproportionate focus on trying to create the conditions to be successful in servicing Halo Infinite, says Hintz. Quote, but switching to Unreal allows us to put all the focus on making multiple new experiences at the highest quality possible, unquote.
You're right. Higher in the article, it does say Slipspace. So it's one of those.
Fairly certain it's Slipspace. So just Tom Warren had a little whoopsie, probably autocorrect.
There. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so big takeaways. Halo moving to Unreal Engine 5, and 343 renamed Halo Studios. Alongside that, they are undergoing a development of technologies to sort of explore what it means to be a Halo game in what they are calling Project Foundry. There is a whole little like promotional video called A New Dawn Halo Studios that they did to announce kind of all of this, and it's a nice like packaged, basically just marketing beat, mostly for investors of just like, hey, we're working on the future of Halo and expect changes because we're doing some new stuff over here.
They did their new logo treatment too, and I actually really like it.
I do like the new logo. I think. How do you feel about the name change?
I think it's fine. Halo Studios from 343. I think it's fine.
343 Industries into Halo Studios. I think it's fine. I think it's good as well. It's a little like, I don't know. It feels like we're like losing a little bit of character there and just turning into Halo Studios and just
a little on the nose, sure,
leaning in on pure Halo all the time for the rest of time.
I mean, what was 343 doing otherwise? You know.
Yes, but I think this now pigeonholes them into only making Halo, and they could have made something new. You know, but. From the footage they show, it looks beautiful of the environments that they've created in Unreal Engine 5. Some of the character models that they've made there, you see footage of Master Chief in the classic Mark V, Mark V helm armor set, and then a Elite that he sort of does a little battle with real quick. In it, all of it looks great. All of it looks beautiful. It looks different than Halo has looked in the past, but I still think it kind of keeps that quasi, almost cartoonish, kind of animated look. Animated is a better word. Animated look to it. And, I mean, there's not much else to say about it from the footage that they showed of what Project Foundry is currently working on. It looks gorgeous. All the different planets that they showed, the some familiar locations, some that are entirely new but still look like Halo. It all looks beautiful. And then, the rumors of a Halo Combat Evolved remaster / remake have been circulating for a little while now. And so I expect that is probably the first thing we're looking at. I don't know if it's so much a remake or remaster at this point. To me, this feels like we are just going full reboot. And we are going to kind of start all of this over and, in a way, harken back to what you knew Halo to be. But I think their main focus now, they say it very clearly. Halo Infinite was their last time using the recipe of Halo of old. They are changing the recipe of Halo. So
how cool would it be? How cool would it be as if with this new version of Halo, we go multi-platform?
That's part of the conversation, right? And we should have it. You should expect, with the announcement of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle coming first half of next year. Excuse me. You should expect every Xbox game to go multi-platform and make it onto
trickle down.
Your PCs, of course, which they've been doing, but also make it over onto your PlayStations. And maybe even your Nintendo Switch 2s, whatever that means. If the Switch 2 can handle it, which I don't think it can. But of this, you are looking at something that is probably several years away. This is just development of technology. This is just playing around in an engine, seeing where they can go with it. The footage is gorgeous and highly detailed and looks fantastic, but this is clearly, to me, them using the engine to sort of maximize what they think they can be capable of without hindering themselves to the consoles yet. I'm going to guess this is a next-gen title the next time we see Halo.
Mm-hmm. I would genuinely be surprised if we see this like this new marketing for whatever this new Halo thing is before 2028.
Oh yeah. Even then we might be being generous with that,
I think maybe we get like a teaser trailer to like along the same vein,
an announcement with a title type thing.
That first thing we got from like Infinite with like maybe, I don't even know if we get the guy plugging in Master Chief type thing. I don't even know if we get that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a tricky one. So, and just don't expect anything for a while. I think for the most part,
right.
I think they should probably go pretty quiet on this.
I agree.
Keep
it quiet.
I like the energy that they're giving in this. This feels a little bit more confident. This feels
very positive. Very, like nothing. At no point when I'm watching this announcement video did I feel like at all like trepidatious or worried. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is great. This is great news.
We're doing something new, but we're still living in our realm. This to me feels like 343 actually kind of grabbing the reins and saying, all right, okay, we get it. Like these last couple of Halos have not, captured the magic, even though I still contest that they have been in very high quality. I think Halo Infinite is one of the best Halo games out there. Not the best, but up there in that conversation for sure. But I think
top 5.
I think top 3. But I understand how top 3 is a wild take at the same time. I think they need to reintroduce Halo to us in a way that is them. That what is 343 now Halo Studios? What is Halo Studios? What does that mean to get a Halo game from the main studio of it? And I don't think they've fully answered that question in the last 3 titles that they've released, which is unfortunate because that's a lot of time and a lot of resources to do so. It feels like Halo has been flailing for a new identity ever since Bungie left it. And it feels like this is the first time where they feel confident enough to be like, you know what? This is what Halo is. This is what we feel passionate about. We're not trying new things. We're not doing the gimmicks of, loadout multiplayer focused type things. We're not doing the gimmicks of co-op and leaning into a, sort of hero-based co-op system as opposed to just having a bunch of buddies run around in a co-op level. And then we're not doing maybe we will be doing the open world thing, but I don't think so. What I am curious about with this, Phil, is that this comes off the heels of an announcement of a a third person mode coming to Halo Infinite. This is something sort of in a testing phase, a beta stage right now. That
I completely forgot about that until you brought it up. I remember
is
seeing that on
coming.
Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, that is coming to Halo Infinite. Yeah, that news happened earlier this week. It was not going to make the headlines or anything, but in conjunction with this, I think we are getting a new form of Halo. And if I were to guess, Halo is going to go third person fully. Because that's where it started. First of all, people forget that part. It's always played with being third person. Halo was initially announced as a third person title, or as a third person.
Was it really?
Yeah. You can find early footage of it and stuff. It doesn't look great, but they switched it to first later on.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so my guess is that they're gonna go full third person shooter. They are gonna go with open levels, but they're going to keep level formats. I don't think the open world idea really worked for them, even though I enjoyed it for what it was. It was certainly empty, though, to those who critiqued Infinite for that. But I enjoyed it for what it was. And sky's the limit here. It really is. They call it a new dawn. It feels like a new beginning for Halo. In a way that we kind of haven't really felt since, if ever. And so, I'm very, very, very interested to see where they go from here. If there was ever a chance to make a big move and find a rebranding and reintroduce yourself to the public, I think now is the time. Because sort of leaning on the past, like 4, 5, and Infinite have done, hasn't been working.
Forget the past. Kill it if you have to.
God. It's the best theme. It's the best fucking theme in that movie, and they fucking squander it in the last 30 minutes.
Where's the girl?
Ugh. Anyways. I'm interested. You have my interest, but and they talk about, hey, the stuff that we're making right now, the stuff that you're seeing right now, we do intend on putting it in the final product. That's years from now. Things changed. Studios get shut down. Though
long time.
I doubt that's going to happen to Halo Studios. But this also feels like Microsoft saying, "All right, we need to become the Halo brand again."
Does this to you reek of any kind of like desperation? Is this like a Hail Mary pass in your opinion, or?
From Microsoft and from Xbox Studios, yes. From Halo Studios, no.
No. Yeah, I could not agree more.
This feels
glad you phrased it that way.
This feels like the development team capitalizing on a moment, is what this feels like. From Xbox and from Microsoft, this feels like them going, hey guys, remember Halo? Like, you still love us, right?
We got it right here.
Yeah, it's real pretty now. It's real pretty. Like, that's what that feels like to me here, is them leaning on, it's Nintendo Wii U.
Trying to pick those member berries.
It's a Nintendo Wii U era every time they reintroduce Mario, and you're like, all right, I get it. You're the Mario guys. Cool, whatever.
I remember.
But I am excited for Halo Studios. But this does not make me excited for Xbox. Xbox has kind of killed a lot, if not all of its goodwill in this last calendar year. And it's funny because they closed on their Activision Blizzard deal about a year ago now. And I'm a year ago, I was like, all right, we're probably heading towards a good place. And since then, it's been a bad place. We're in a very bad place.
Was it not earlier in 2023 that happened?
It was like September-ish.
Was it really? I was thinking it was more like middle of the summer.
No. It was like, it was like somewhere around that August, September era. I'm pretty sure it was September, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I was thinking like June or July.
Yeah. So, they were doing a lot of stuff. And, Phil, match this in conjunction with sort of what what Xbox did with their last showcase, which was a phenomenal showcase. Very well put together. But match that with, we're doing a Gears of War prequel game. So you have the Marcus Phoenix you know and love and remember. But again, I think that's going to be a different type of Gears of War than what we've gotten in the past.
I'm not sure that it's going to be that different because the last time they tried to break from like the essential Gears of War formula, we got Gears of War Judgment, and that didn't really go over so well.
Was that not more Gears of War? It was just a different character, and people just didn't like it.
No, so that was like they kind of changed how you played the game, and then the Gears 4 and Gears 5 that was more of a return to form.
But I don't know if a continuation of that formula will work either, because
I'm not saying it will. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't know if another like big shakeup is going to go well for Gears of War.
Yeah, because 4 and mostly 5 critically were received quite well, but I don't think they were moving units like they needed to. If I were to guess, just I'm speculating here, 100%. But based off of that trailer, they made the what is the name of that enemy?
The Locust.
Is it just the Locust? Is it not like a Locust Hunter or something, or?
Oh, drone.
Locust drone. Yeah, how that drone fight went in that, I'm gonna guess Gears of War E-Day, or Gears E-Day, I think is what they call it. I think it's gonna be a heavier game. I think they're going to not necessarily ground themselves, but put more weight behind what you do in Gears E-Day.
I mean, we're gonna find out why Marcus Phoenix was thrown in prison. So.
Oh, for sure. I'm not speaking like tonally or narratively. I'm talking like gameplay feel.
Okay.
Like, this is a bad example, but it's the only one I can reach to right now. Well, maybe a little bit of both here. I think they're gonna go a little bit more in the realm of like sort of a Last of Us, in terms of game feel, where Last of Us is very heavy and the resources that you have dwindling means something. I think unloading a clip in Gears E-Day is gonna feel like you are fighting for survival and not necessarily being a one-man army. You know what I'm saying? Sort of in like not going survival horror, but sort of drawing inspiration on the gameplay loops of survival horror. I still think you're getting like a very bro shooter, you know, in terms of like kind of tone, but I think it's just gonna feel heavier.
Okay.
You're really gonna feel the impact of your shots now, as opposed to like just kind of like spraying into guys and like creating a bloodfest. But I don't know, I could be wrong. But again, all of these things, all of these signs to me from Xbox say, hey, we're trying to reach back to that early 360 era. Because every path we've gone down since then has failed. And then we are using Call of Duty to be the money machine.
Stem the bleeding.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what Xbox is doing. I don't have confidence in them. But when it comes to, who does? Oh, and then Perfect Dark also in that mix. But also Perfect Dark has been and that game looks great too. All these games look great, you know. But can they deliver? I don't know. And it just keeps seeming to harken back to things of the past. Is Perfect Dark slated for next year?
I don't know if we got a year from that last thing.
Yeah, if you could Google that for me real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring us into our next topic of the day, which is our second topic, my first penny. Ladies and gentlemen, Tencent and the Guillemot family said to consider buyout of Ubisoft. This is from Bloomberg.com by Vinci Chan, Dong Cao, Dong, sorry, Dong. And Benoit Berthold. Wow, we are running the gambit on the names here today.
Benoit.
Tencent Holdings, Ltd. and Ubisoft Entertainment S.A.'s founding Guillemot family are considering options, including a potential buyout of the French video game developer after it lost more than half its market value this year according to people familiar with the matter. The Chinese tech company and Guillemot Brothers Ltd. have been speaking with advisors to help explore ways to stabilize Ubisoft and bolster its value, the people said. Asked not to be identified discussing a private matter, one of the possibilities being discussed would involve teaming up to take the company private, according to the people. Ubisoft shares rose as much as 33% in Paris on Friday following the Bloomberg News report, the steepest gain since the company's 1996 initial public offering. Shares of Ubisoft have fallen about 40% this year, giving the company a market capitalization of about 1.8 billion euros or 2 billion American dollars. Tencent owned 9.2% of Ubisoft's net voting rights at the end of April, while the Guillemot family held about 20.5%, according to the firm's latest annual report. Some minority shareholders, including AJ Investments, have been pushing for either a take private or a sale of Ubisoft to a strategic investor amid the stock price plunge. Considerations are at an early stage, and there's no certainty that they will lead to a transaction. Tencent and Guillemot family are also considering other alternatives, according to the people. Spokesperson for Ubisoft and the Guillemot family declined to comment. A representative for Tencent couldn't immediately comment during a holiday week in China. Last month, Ubisoft shares fell to their lowest in more than a decade after the company cut its outlook on weaker than expected sales and a delay on the hotly anticipated Assassin's Creed Shadows title. The video game firm has, over the past couple of years, struggled to recover from a pandemic-era production crunch that resulted in delays in the release of new games and canceled titles. Phil, what do you got for me?
To answer your question, Perfect Dark is not have a year assigned to it.
Okay. All right. So that one's probably pretty far away. Okay. So Ubisoft not looking for a full-on buyout, but looks like basically under new leadership with Tencent is what we're looking. Nothing confirmed yet. This does not instill any confidence in me that Ubisoft is going down the right direction, or that we will see a redemption of Ubisoft within the next 5 to 10 years at all.
Yeah.
This is of all the possible choices to sell out to, Tencent is one of the least positive ones. I personally think, but it's far from the worst. And so I am struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel for Ubisoft, because we are on record lows in terms of stocks, and we have seen release after release of botched game after botched game. This last year has been one of the worst for Ubisoft. You look at Star Wars Outlaws, critically not doing well at all, barely selling 1 million copies, which is not what they, or not even breaking 1 million. Which is not what that game needs to sell. It needs to sell millions. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows getting booted to next year, which I don't believe we've talked about on this podcast. And now with Ubisoft booting Assassin's Creed, I'm now concerned that Assassin's Creed Shadows is not gonna be of the quality that we would like it to be. I'm concerned on the quality of Assassin's Creed Shadows now. And then on top of that, Skull and Bones. One of the most expensive and disastrously flops that we've seen from Ubisoft in many, many years. Far Cry, not hitting like it used to. Watch Dogs, shot into oblivion. I mean, where do you even go from there? Like, their most interesting thing that they did in the last 5-6 years was Mario plus Rabbids, and the second one sucked. So, like, you see what I'm going here?
Did the second one suck? I just don't think it lived in the zeitgeist for very long.
I did not see good things about the what was it? Sparks of Hope?
Sparks of Hope.
Yeah. I do not recall people being happy with that title.
No, it was a 9 out of 10 on IGN.
What else do we got? Because
I'll pull up the Open Critic real quick.
I remember people being disappointed in Sparks of Hope. So I could be wrong, but that was the message that I took from the industry, is that this one's not hitting. Where Kingdom Battle did hit.
It was an 85 on Open Critic.
Interesting. What was Kingdom Battle?
Sorry, real quick. It was 97% critics recommend, and then Kingdom Battle.
Regardless,
I think you might be talking at your ass. It's the same, and more critics recommend Sparks of Hope. It's 85 on top critic average and the 92% critics recommend.
Interesting, because I swear the conversation was, this one doesn't hit like the last one.
It might have been, you might have been thinking of the DLC for Sparks of Hope.
Maybe, possibly, but thought it was the full game. But regardless, doesn't matter. It didn't hit like it probably should have, right? And in combination with every major franchise of theirs not really working, with the exception of Assassin's Creed, and even that I'm not so sure is working so well. I didn't see any headlines about Assassin's Creed Mirage doing well, you know?
Yeah, that one's harder to defend. I believe that one was a 78.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown,
76.
We loved it over here. We thought Prince of Persia was great. Nobody's played it. So, it's that. And then the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, God knows when we're going to get that one. And then the Splinter Cell remake, where is that? It's nowhere to be seen. I'm going to guess we're not going to get that one. Ghost Recon sucked. Also, like, you just go down the line of every Ubisoft franchise, and it's just like, ugh. Like, these are all not working. And so something needs to change. I do believe it is a leadership problem. I think Guillemons need to go. And so if they are considering cutting their losses here and selling their majority stake claim to Tencent here to get out, interesting, but I still don't see how that's going to work. Beyond Good and Evil 2's not coming out, guys. They are quietly canceling that game if they have not already. Yeah, so it's so unfortunate because for a long, long time, Ubisoft was either a publisher that made really interesting games, if you reach back to like the PS2 era, and then, in your PS3 and for parts of the PlayStation 4, they were very, very dominant with some very strong IPs, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon, and then they've just lost their way somewhere around here. And the Bloomberg article shows that they have struggled to recover from the pandemic. I do believe part of that is true, but I think the majority of it is the stories that have just been unraveling for years now of mismanagement, of workplace harassment, and of just deadlines that dev teams can't make up and crunch out of control. Like, it is a bad time to work at Ubisoft, and that hurts to live with. Star Wars Outlaw seems to be the one that has broken the camel's back.
That is how it seems. I agree.
Yeah. So
to kind of not harken back, but like kind of go back to what you were saying about how you're worried about Shadows, I think that was more just a decision to get it out of the way of what it knows it's going to struggle to outsell. That's at least how I see it. I'm not that worried about the quality of it. I think we're still looking at, your average Assassin's Creed score. So like I have to assume it's going to be somewhere like anywhere between 86, maybe on the high side, and 88.
I hope, man.
I
hope.
I'm not that worried about the quality of it. I'm more so of the opinion or of the thought that they just moved it out of the way of some of these other releases.
I mean, there was some talk of like the dev team had been begging for weeks, if not months, for Ubisoft to delay the game. So I assume if it had come out in its initial November release date, it would have been a bug like infested mess and would not have run well and things like that.
But
so
I'm all for taking the extra time to polish.
Oh, 100%. Take your time. Make it good.
All for that.
Yeah.
I'm actually like kind of happy with Ubisoft for listening to the devs and pushing it back.
Yeah, I think if they went 3 for 3 on major release duds in the same calendar year, it would have been very bad. It would have been
curtains.
Very,
would have been
bad.
curtains.
Yeah. So,
we do not want another Assassin's Creed Unity release,
Yeah.
Because on launch, that game was
pair of cheeks,
buggy to hell.
It was some cheeks, but
Swiss
cheese.
I
I don't know, man. Ubisoft does not fill me with any type of confidence from any angle. So yeah, I'm not sure about Assassin's Creed right now. Like, I want that game to be great. It looked great. It demoed great to me. And let me be clear, because we are a little-known podcast, so, more than likely this is going to be hitting the feeds of some new people, right? The problem is not the go woke, go broke shit. That is some bullshit. It's not the DEI nonsense that grifters online like to push and things like that. That's not the problem. The problem is management, dev time, and workplace culture. That's
Absolutely.
the problem. Is being overworked, being harassed while you work, and being forced to churn out these massive games and not give them the love that they need. That's the problem with Ubisoft. Not so
Agreed.
much that they put a black man in their video game. But I think that's where we leave it off on that one. Moving on to our third topic of the day, topic number 3. Phil, your second penny of the day. Take it away, buddy.
I've got here an article from Video Games Chronicle VGC. Chris Scullion reports saying From Software is increasing its average salary by around 12%.
Heyo.
It says starting salaries for new graduates will also increase by 15%. This here says From Software has announced that it will be increasing its employees' average salary. The Japanese developer has stated that from April 2025, employees will get an average basic salary increase of around 11.8%. The starting monthly salary for new graduates will also be increased from 260,000 yen, $1,775 US dollars, to 300,000 yen, or 2,050 US dollars, an increase of just over 15%. At From Software, this is a quote, we strive to make games that convey emotion, create value, and inspire joy. It's a statement from the company. To this end, we are working towards stable income and a rewarding work environment where our employees can apply themselves to development. The increase in base and starting salaries is one implementation of this policy. We will continue to develop games with the hope of inspiring players and creating something of value. End quote. From Software's latest release is Shadow of the Erdtree, a DLC expansion for its 2022 release Elden Ring. According to the developer, Elden Ring has sold 25 million copies by the time of Shadow of the Erdtree's release, with the DLC going on to sell a further 5 million copies in its first week alone. Earlier this year, Game of Thrones writer George R.R. Martin, who created the initial world and plot for Elden Ring, seemingly teased a possible film or TV adaptation of From Software's game. Martin noted that the game had been given the Nebula Award for game writing by the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association, saying, quote, I did the world building for that project. Hidetaka Miyazaki and his team did all the rest, end quote. Unprompted, he then appeared to tease, quote, oh, and about those rumors you may have heard about a feature film or television series based on Elden Ring, I have nothing to say. Not a word. Nope, not a thing. I know nothing. You never heard a peep from me. Mum, what rumor? Question, unquote.
Yeah, Martin, quite a character, that Martin.
Very eccentric.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Yeah. But I think that's clearly he's like, I don't know, man. I did my work and I moved on. Like I'm on to other things right now. Like I'm doing a bunch of other shit. So complete opposite type of story here. Here we got a bright spot in our industry. FromSoft consistently making some of the best quality games in the world, making them at a pretty damn good fucking pace. Let me tell you what.
Oops, all bangers.
Yeah, releasing. I mean, they've released the last 3 years in a row. And
yeah,
it's been all great stuff. So congratulations to them. And you know, I think at most they release every other year. I can't recall a time that they took 2 years off to develop a game.
Yeah, it's usually that's usually the pace they go for.
And so whatever they're doing over there is working, and it's working real well. FromSoft, I think, is starting to kind of lead the industry and just how to kind of do things. I mean, not started, I guess. I guess they've been on this trend for a long, long time. And so, yeah, I'm very, very interested, as always, to see what FromSoft does next. FromSoft, not my personal favorite developer. They don't really make games that I adore or love, but I definitely respect, and I've definitely played a couple that I do enjoy. And, you know, some I do love. I do love, you know, a Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. But, yeah. So them having increased salary all the way around 12%, 15%, about an equivalent to around $300. Of course, this does vary. $300 monthly. Apparently, you can live in Japan with just like $2,000. Like that's a super livable wage, I guess, over there. Damn, fucking $2,000. I'm not eating for a week over here. So yeah, that's pretty great to hear. Very, very excited for whatever FromSoft has next up their sleeve, whether it is an Elden Ring 2, I don't believe it is, or it's, you know, something new.
Yeah, whatever they decide to give me, just pump it into my veins. You know?
I'm ready and I'm excited for it. You know, I enjoyed Armored Core 6 quite a lot. I wish I had put more time into it. And I've enjoyed everything I've played, but I've just never been like, oh yeah, I'm obsessed with this. I need to play it and beat it.
Yeah, I actually kind of a little sidebar is I actually it's been a while at this point, but a few weeks back I reinstalled Armored Core and I made it over a hump that I was kind of stuck at when I was initially playing the game. And I'm excited to get back into it at some point. I'm not sure when, but yeah, it's staying on that back burner, you know.
It wasn't that first like big boss, was it?
Oh no, I had beaten Balteus forever ago.
Okay, gotcha. I was about to be like, come on, Phil. Like, I mean, it's tough, but it's not like that tough. Come on.
Nah.
I forget where I left off. It was one of those things I just put it down one day and just never really came back, and I wish I hadn't. I spent fucking 3 hours customizing a goddamn mech to look like Spider-Man. Like, fucking spent almost as much time doing that as I did playing the fucking video game. What a good game. What a
great game.
That game rips. I hope they make more. Moving on, Phil, our final topic of the day, my second and final penny of the day, something that I'm also very excited for and very, very interested in. We are getting an Alien Isolation sequel. This is coming from Creative Assembly creative director Al Hope. To our fans around the world, it's hard to believe that it has been 10 years since we embarked on our journey with the release of Alien Isolation. When we started developing Alien Isolation, we had one guiding principle: to create a truly authentic experience that went back to the roots of the Alien franchise, a new story capturing the atmosphere and terror of the original 1979 movie masterpiece. It's been nothing short of incredible to witness your passion for the game over the years and see it reach so many players around the world. Your boundless enthusiasm, excitement, screams, and steely courage in the face of cinema's greatest killer have been profoundly rewarding. Whether you're a nightmare mode veteran or stepping into Amanda Ripley's shoes for that thrilling first attempt, good luck. We wanted to express our deep gratitude. It was a dream project brought to life by a brilliant team, and the reception you have given it over the years is extraordinary. On the 10th anniversary, it seems only fitting to let you know that we have heard your distress calls loud and clear. Today, I'm delighted to confirm on behalf of the team that a sequel to Alien Isolation is in early development. We look forward to sharing more details with you when we're ready. Once again, thank you. Until next time, Al Hope, creative director, Alien Isolation. Ooh, baby.
It's great news. It's great news.
This is great. This is unexpected news. I had kind of chalked up Alien Isolation to being a one and done from Creative Assembly. I am excited, very, very excited to see a sequel to it in some form or fashion. I don't know if I need a direct sequel or if this is going to be a spinoff or just, a sequel with just a new character. Or I never finished the first game, so I should finish the first game, first of all. But Alien Isolation is a great, great, great survival horror game. Came out in a time where Resident Evil was not dominant. And really, really, really kicked down the door and showed that, hey, we can still have really good AAA survival horror games, because we were not seeing any in the AAA space for years when Alien Isolation came out. The indie space was dominating it with horror games. But yeah, the AAA space, we weren't really seeing any, and now we're seeing a whole lot, and I'm fucking loving it. We're in a renaissance of survival horror right now. It's been fucking fantastic to see, and so I'm very, very excited about this. Some things I hope happen here. Alien Isolation was universally praised for the AI that they developed to get the alien itself to work, and the gameplay when the alien was around was some of the best in the genre to date.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. The problems, and to this day, fucking still, holy shit, still so good. The problems with Alien Isolation, because it was not a perfect game, but it was a really, really damn good one, came in, it was a little over bloated, a little too much, little too much dip on the chip. You know, the chip, that chip was struggling to get all that dip on there. You know what I'm saying? And the gameplay centered around fighting androids was not fun. And there were some long sequences where you were not fighting an alien and indeed fighting androids. I understand the purpose of them, of those sequences, that is. And I'm not saying we need to get rid of them entirely. I hope we heavily modify them to make them mechanically more interesting, for one. And two, I hope there's less of it. Alien Isolation is like 15 plus hours long. It doesn't need to be that long. I love where kind of Resident Evil is at right now, where we are sitting somewhere in that, depending on which game you're playing, somewhere in that like 9 to 12 range. Village kind of reached into 15 hours. But Resident Evil 4 was about 12 hours, I think, 13 hours. Resident Evil 2 was about 9 hours your first time through, and I thought that was appropriate. I thought all those things. Resident Evil 7, I believe, was like 7 or 8 hours, and all of those times very appropriate length to run. I'm hearing this is also the week where the Silent Hill 2 remake reviews have popped. Very positive reception to that. I'm hearing that one is running about 15 hours. That just feels a little long to me when we're talking survival horror. There comes a point in all these games where you kind of stop caring, and that was the problem with Alien Isolation. Is it went well over. The runtime was way longer than it should have been. So yeah, I'm excited.
Honestly, I'd be happy with like even if they did like an Outlast runtime, which only like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. For this, I do want a little bit more meat on the bone, because narrative and story are kind of important to the Alien franchise and universe and so forth. But I also, off the back of the latest movie, Alien Romulus, which I thought was a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Greatest of all time? Definitely not. But it was a lot of fun. It was a really good movie. Like, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the performances in it immensely. And so, but my TikTok feed was kind of infested with people going and watching the movie and then going and playing the game. And so the game kind of caught a new wave of, like, a little tiny wave of virality as people were kind of re-experiencing that. So I think people are hungry for that experience again. I think people want it. And I'm very curious as to see what they do here. It's been 10 years, which doesn't sound correct to me. I would have sworn Alien Isolation was like a 16. But no, it was a long time ago. Yeah, that would have been early high school for me when that game came out.
Yeah, it was 20. Did you say already?
It would have been 2014 if we're celebrating 10 years.
Gotcha.
This year, yeah.
I was gonna guess 13, but I forgot that it was the celebration of the 10-year.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been 10 years. I'd like to see what's different now, because if you just give me the same game again, sure, thank you, but come on,
right?
But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see this. When do we see it? I don't know. This could come out in 2 years. This could come out in 5. I don't fucking know. I would assume it's gonna be a little bit sooner than later. So next 2 to 3 is what I'm hoping for here. But yeah, game development in the modern age takes a long time. So who knows? Phil, you haven't really played that much Alien Isolation. I watched you play the first like 20 minutes of it, and then you were like, nah, I'm out. I'm checking out of this thing.
No, it wasn't that little. I played about an hour. Calm down. I did.
I mean, you didn't even get to like the alien actually hunting you.
Yeah, which happens a little into the first hour.
Anyways, but yeah, does this do anything for you?
I mean, I'm excited for the people who are excited.
Okay.
While I do enjoy the Alien films, I'm not a big horror game guy, so this doesn't do a whole lot for me. I do. Well, I really enjoyed Alien Romulus, and I'm told that it takes a lot of inspiration from some of the stuff in Isolation. That it kind of does a good amount. That's from what I've heard. People on the internet say that.
In some ways, there's a moment where like there's a character who looks up, and then there's the aliens right like above him, and then gets killed. You know, like that could be kind of pulled from that. I guess also like just kind of returning. Well, narratively, they do hit some of the same beats now that I think about it a little bit. Like just kind of in the structure of the film. I could kind of see it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I could kind of see it.
But yeah, I mean, I hope this next one is really good, so we can get another really good movie.
Alien's such a good IP.
It's good.
They've been kind of squandering it for the last decade, but you know, it's a fucking good IP. You know, I like that. I like living in that world. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for your Two Penny Gamescast. Thank you so much for watching and listening alongside with us. If you didn't know on the channel right now, I should have said it at the top. Forgot, but here we are. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom review is live on the channel right now. Go check that one out. Would really appreciate your eyes and a like on that one. Phil did a good job on that one, reviewing that guy. And so yeah, go check that one out. Very, very exciting. Next week, the Two Penny Game Club, our monthly video game book club, is returning. We will be reviewing Ratchet and Clank, the first one, the original game. So if you've not been playing, if you've not been keeping up with us at home, make sure you find some time to do that. Won't take you too terribly long. And so we're very, very excited to get to that. So that's happening next week. And then, of course, we're going to try and get a second episode out at the end of the month on Halloween for that. But, you know, some more details on that to come at the end of the Ratchet and Clank review. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our socials. Remember, you can get this show every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/@2pennygames, or mainstream podcast services of your choice. Follow us on Twitch and watch us record all of our podcasts live every Monday afternoon/evening. And until next time, have a great time. Phil, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.